Hey y'all, in today's video I thought I would share my top 5 must-have products for living with a chronic illness. Since I've been dealing with it for several years, at least a decade at this point, there's a lot of things that I have discovered that have been major game changers for managing my own health. So I thought I'd share those with you, just if there's anybody out there that is new to chronic illness, is struggling with, figuring out how to manage things, or just wants, doesn't want to feel alone, wants to feel some understanding. I am completely here for you, and that is hopefully what this video will do as well. So first off, my number one is always going to be a tiered rolling cart. Like, it's been so helpful for me, not only because it provides storage in a way, but it also helps to keep certain medical things organized. I've seen a lot of people use it for their medications, or if they have dressing changes, like for a feeding tube or anything like that. It helps to keep all of those medical things organized and in all in the same place, so that you know where everything always is. You just go there, you have everything you need to do what you need to do, and it's all right there. You can do it real quick and easy and efficiently. And not only that, but if you have a caregiver or even just a friend that is over and you need help, it's all right there on the cart. All they gotta do is go get the cart and bring it to you. And that's that simple. Because it's a rolling cart, so we can roll wherever you need it to. If you're in bed, if you're on the couch, wherever you are, it rolls with you. And it has been such a game changer for me. I have multiple carts. In fact, this is the one that I have mostly with my medical items. So, like, down at the bottom I have braces and all sorts of things like that I may need. And then the center one is it's a little messy because I've got my body braid in there, and I've got, vomit bags in case I need it. I've got heating pads, like stick-on heating pads. I have a plug-in heating pad down in the very bottom, I believe, and then on the top is like medications that I need regularly. So like Mucinex, Gas-X, digestive aid, and gas and bloat relief, digestive enzymes, allergy relief, nausea meds, and like Pamprin. You never know what you're gonna need. Plus just lotion, hand sanitizer. I've got a pulse oximeter, and nice little head massager to pamper myself if I've got a headache or just not feeling good. Sometimes that can help. And along with chapsticks, thermometer, fingernail clippers, a couple scrunchies, like all sorts of things. So that can be really, really beneficial to have, especially if you're living alone or you live like in a family home type of thing. Like, that way you can take things with you wherever you are. If you're in the living room, your bedroom, even if you're in the bathroom, like, it can go with you wherever you need it. And that's just probably the best part about it, but it's also got many other advantages. My number 2 is going to be ice and heat. I know it's pretty basic, but I can tell you from experience, it's a huge, huge help. Especially, don't mind my cat trying to invade my video. Just making a mess over here, Katie. What are you doing? Okay. She's so offended right now. Anyways, so it's super helpful, like, especially if you deal with a lot of joint pain and inflammation. It's it's the best solution, you know, it's not necessarily a solution, but bye, Katie. It's the simplest and easiest way to manage that. Heat can be super relaxing and calming as long as it's not too hot. I notice that sometimes I can get too warm and that almost makes me feel worse. So be careful with that, especially if you're sensitive to temperature. And then like ice as well, even heat itself too, is great for if you deal with subluxations, dislocations, all sorts of things like that. But even migraines and headaches and things like that, ice and heat can be beneficial. Sometimes, for me, it really depends on how bad the migraine is. If it's a lower end, closer to a headache, I usually will want heat more, but if it's worse, ice is the way to go for me. But that's just me. Not everybody is the same. Please remember that none of this is professional medical advice. I am not a medical professional. I have just lived with chronic illnesses for at least a decade, and these are the things that I find very useful. Number 3 is braces. As you saw in my rolling cart, braces are very important, especially, like I said before, if you deal with subluxations, dislocations. They can provide a lot of stability and support to keep them in place, or if you have had one happen, it can help with the recovery of those as well. But it can also just help stabilize any sort of injured joint you may have. If you have, you know, your wrist is starting to hurt more, throw on a wrist brace and it can help ease that for a little while. I usually don't wear it more than a few hours, just to provide a little bit so that it can relax a bit and kind of feel safe. So that's really beneficial in my opinion. Number 4 is going to be mobility aids, whether that's a walker, a cane, a wheelchair, whether, you know, there's several types of mobility aid items, but they can be so life-changing for somebody with chronic illness or disability, because especially if you're more bed-bound, couch-bound, having a wheelchair or a walker, you know, to be able to go to the mall with your friends for a little while, or just, you know, even for appointments, those are exhausting. So if it helps you have a better quality of life, it's worth it. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say. I have dealt with tons of negative opinions from even, you know, significant others that I've had before, friends, family. Like, people have their opinions, but they don't know what you live with every day. So don't let other people's opinions stop you from using a mobility aid if it will help you. Just make sure it's not going to cause any damage to your body, because you want to make sure, like with a walker, you don't want it to be at the wrong height or the wrong width for your gait. You got to make sure it's going to work for your body, because otherwise it can cause more harm than good. And last but not least, number 5 is going to be medication management, which is a little bit of a broad topic here. But what I'm talking about in this instance is like medication management machines, management apps, if that's what you would prefer. I personally use a Hero machine, but I've been looking at other options as well. There are plenty of different options out there for medication management machines. As well as, you know, pill cases. Those can work too if you're better at keeping track of your medications, or if you don't have a lot of medications. Because for me, I take a lot of medications. I have 3 different dosage times throughout the day: morning, 1, and so 8 a.m., 1 p.m., and 8 p.m. are my dosage times that I have for my medications. Plus there's supplements that I'm, you know, needing to take. So having a medication management machine to just simply, you know, alert me when it's time to take my dose and then dispense the pills for me into a cup, all the ones that I need for that time of day, is a huge game changer, because then it also has a app that corresponds with it to tell you your adherence for each medication weekly and monthly. You can set up if you have a caregiver or even just a parent or a friend that's close by, they can get alerts for when you miss a medication dose, like, and there's no more accidental forgetting if you took a dose or not, or potentially double downing on a dose. Like, you don't want to do that either. So it can be a huge advantage. Hi, Katie. Plus, it can save you space for medications. You know, you don't have to have all these pill bottles spread all over your counter or in a drawer. Like, it's just all in a medication machine right there on your counter, and it's so much simpler. So, if there are any questions, please leave them down below. I will answer by Katie as soon as possible. I also wanted to mention that with medication management machines, it can also help with your doctors and caregivers' care, because they can see, you know, if you're taking the medication more consistently and like directly on time, you'll see much better results. And you'll be able to tell if the medication is helping or not so much easier, and it can really just, there's so many benefits to it. So I really encourage you to look into it. I will leave some links down below with related to the items that I personally use, and please research from there if you're interested in any of these items, because it can really make a difference based on your illnesses and what you deal with day to day. Another thing I wanted to mention, I was going to add in a bonus number 6 item with some helpful apps that I have found, but as I was going through them, I actually have quite a few, so I've decided that I'm going to make a completely separate video on that. So if that is interested to you, then please turn on that notification bell and you will know as soon as I upload that video, because it's coming soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please, I would love it if you left a like down below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I would love it if you would join my little family here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna name our little community, but if you have any suggestions for that, please leave it down below as well. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!